We moved my buddy Nick Wright, co-host First Things First. He's crushing it up a little bit today because Tommy Brady. We don't move Nick very much. Tom's in-house.
Well, yeah.
I feel bad.
I don't know. I've been with the company 8.5 years. I don't know who needs to be bumping who, but I'll take it for your guy Tom Brady. What I will say is this. This could be the start of the greatest 40-minute run in the history of the network.
Yeah.
You and me together, then the herd hierarchy, long awaited, then Tom Brady and Colin. I don't know if this needs to go in the time capsule, but I think so. So we don't have a lot of time. Let's do it.
All right, let's start with the Bears. I said earlier today, Jim Harbaugh said, I'll take the Chargers job. They have Justin Herbert. Kevin Warren yesterday said it's the best job opening, and I looked at it. I get Caleb Williams. I'm not paying him for 4 years. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Montez Sweat. How would you, is it the best job?
Well, it's of all the jobs that we expect to come open, it's certainly better than the Jets and Saints jobs, which are already open. I love Trevor, but he has underwhelmed. That job should come open. The Bears job is better than that. Before the year, there was thought, is Philly or Buffalo going to be open? The answer to those are no, they are not. So take those off the board. Say Dallas comes open. The Bears job is better for everything you said. And it's why I understand everyone is going to go after Ben Johnson. But for the Bears in particular, you are pairing an offensive mind with Caleb, which I think they must do, and you are weakening your biggest interdivision competition in Detroit. So I think while a guy like Vrabel would be great for Jacksonville if that opens up to add stability, I think Chicago has to go offensive mind and fresh ideas. I love the Ben Johnson idea if they could get him. And if I were Ben Johnson, of all the jobs that are open or are likely to come open, I certainly think Chicago's the most attractive because I believe in Caleb as much as I ever have.
So I'm watching in the snow globe. And by the way, Buffalo looked like they were having the time of their lives. It was like when we were 8 years old and it snowed for the first time. They were out there playing in the backyard. But I noticed Josh Allen on one side and Brock Purdy on the other. And I thought, you want to pay them about the same? You and I always push back on the old Brockaroo.
We don't get yelled at as much as we once did. Did those people switch over to Blue Sky from X? I don't know what happened to them. You just don't hear as much of people, why won't you give Brock Purdy his respect? And the answer is because Brock Purdy, like a lot of players, not an indictment, is a mirror. He is going to look exactly like the talent around him.
Yeah.
And listen, the Niners, when they had 5 all-pros on offense last year, all playing at their apex, Brock Purdy looked excellent. This year, when the Niners don't have the worst skill position in the league, the least talent, it's just league average, he looks league average, which is why I think it would be insane after this year to pay Brock Purdy. I would certainly want to see him next year when, what talent is going to be around him. Was this year the anomaly or was last year the anomaly? I think it is worth noting that in his last 16 games, he's 8-8. He has as many touchdowns as turnovers. His pass, 16 games, not a small sample, starting with that Ravens game last season, which ended his MVP candidacy. But, Colin, I want to be kind of first to market with this idea and bounce it off you. If the Niners season continues to go the way it does, and they end up with a top 10 pick, is it crazy to suggest that they could draft a quarterback? Because I don't think it is. We saw Kyle Shanahan say, I have a quarterback that I went to an NFC Championship game and a Super Bowl with. I think we can do better. And they gave up 3 first-round picks to try to go get that guy. Now, the guy was the wrong decision in Trey Lance, but the idea was he clearly thought if we had a mobile run-threat quarterback, what this offense could unlock. With Shador, Cam Ward, Jalen Milroe, all being potential top 10 picks. If the Niners are sitting there, don't have to trade any draft capital to get one of those guys, and then almost assuredly could get a first-round pick and then some for a team for Brock Purdy, is that something that would be crazy? rather than them as an aging team, an expensive team, paying Brock Purdy $55 million a year?
Who is Shanahan's primary rival in this league? Sean McVay.
What did he do?
So McVay's got an older pocket quarterback. Cam Ward would be a young, inexpensive, big-arm, mobile quarterback. How do you catch up to your rival? The Rams are stacked with young defensive talent. The Niners are old. Yeah. So I can see Shanahan saying, McVay's already got a ring. I'm not rebuilding on this team. Young, dynamic quarterbacks shorten rebuilds. I mean, they change things.
Of course, because you can keep all the talent. And what I thought you were going to say about McVay is, what did McVay have the guts to do? Not with the last pick of the draft, but with the first pick of the draft, who had gone to a Super Bowl, had an unbelievable season in 2018, said, you know what? We can be better. Now, there's not a Matt Stafford out there for them. I understand that.
No.
But if this 5-7 turns into 6-11 and the 8th pick of the draft, I think that possibility has to be open for them.
Yep. No, I think. Okay, I want to end with this. The Chiefs have the worst point differential for any 11-1 team ever. Offensive tackle worries me. I do like Isaiah Pacheco returning. They're not as good defensively. Now, I will say, Burrow's got a bad defense, so does Lamar. I think that the NFC actually at the top, Detroit and Philly are kind of impressive. Buffalo's good, but it's, we don't know. You have to acknowledge the margins are like this. They're like paper thin with this Chiefs team, right?
No, I don't have to acknowledge anything. And what I do have to do is force America to go on a trip with me a year ago, because everyone's trying to act like this year is different. You realize if the Chiefs lost every game on the rest of their schedule, they would finish 11-6. Last year, they actually did finish 11-6. Last year, Mahomes' numbers were worse. The offense was worse. They actually looked vulnerable, and then we saw what happened. Everyone is trying to retcon scenarios where the past didn't actually happen. And where this season, they're like, well, they could have lost that game. They could have lost that game, but they didn't. And listen, unlike the Niners, who dealt with significant injuries and fell apart, the Chiefs, by the 4th game of the season, were without wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, running back 1, tight end 3, 4, and 5, their number 2 corner. They're now without their kicker. They have beaten 4 of the 5 playoff teams they played. The one they didn't play, it was a 2-point game with 2 minutes left before Josh makes that amazing play. Credit to him. And everyone's like, I'm worried about him. Mahomes had the worst 6-game stretch of his career. They have dealt with crippling injuries. Those guys are coming back, and they're 11-1. Left tackle is a real concern, which is why they signed DJ Humphries, who was a Pro Bowler 2 years ago. He will be the starter this coming weekend when they play the Chargers. This is what happened last season. Last season, the entire media, except for, a select few of us, really just me, said, this is the year to get the Chiefs. This is the year they don't have the magic.
Yeah.
They then were underdogs in 3 straight playoff games, won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And the whole media, in unison, said, I will never make that mistake again. Now, they're 11-1. And people are like, nah, they're not that good. They're making the exact same mistake. So I would ask you, because I know you have to go, but you're about to have Tom on, because the Chiefs just broke a record. Most consecutive victories in one-score games, 15.
Yeah.
That record was held by the 03-04 Patriots. Tom Brady, obviously, his first back-to-back Super Bowls, only back-to-back Super Bowl. Ask him, hey, Tommy, were you guys just lucky, or maybe did you know how to win? And maybe is that having the best coaching quarterback thing pretty damn valuable? My guess is he'll say that, they knew what they were doing, but maybe he'll say it was just luck. It's just luck. Just a lot, it's an oblong ball and weird things happen.
Yeah, I
don't think that's what it'll say.
I think winning close games is like winning at poker, which you're great at, which is there are sometimes the luck of the draw, but over the course of an extended amount of time on the table, skill and intelligence and efficiency wins. It's got a poker. Sometimes the fumble goes your way, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes the cards don't. But we have to go.
Sure,
I've got 10 seconds.
These other, the Lions are getting more injured. The Chiefs are getting healthier. They're getting Pacheco back, getting Hollywood Brown back. They're the best team in the league by a mile. People will agree.
Well, mile is a lot. Mile is a lot.
The best team by a mile.
Okay.
By a mile.